My freshman year of college began with a bang. I was so excited to be out on my own and living with a roommate for the first time. Little did I know that my roommate would be the source of much dread and fear. At first, everything seemed normal. My roommate was always very quiet and kept to himself. He had an odd habit of never leaving his room, and he always had the curtains drawn. I never saw him go to class or do anything else outside of his room. One night, while I was trying to get some sleep, I heard a strange noise coming from my roommate's room. I could hear someone talking, but the voice was so low that I couldn't make out what they were saying. I got up to investigate, but the door to his room was locked. The next day, I decided to confront him about the noise. When I asked him what he was doing the night before, he just smiled and said he was practicing his new hobby. He wouldn't say what it was, but he did mention that it involved some strange rituals. Things got even stranger from there. My roommate's behavior became increasingly erratic. He talked to himself, and I sometimes heard him muttering words in a strange language. He also started to keep strange objects in his room. I noticed some jars filled with a strange black liquid, and he had some peculiar symbols drawn on his walls. I was becoming more and more scared of him. I started to avoid my roommate as much as I could, but one night I heard a loud crash coming from his room. I rushed to his door and found him lying on the floor, surrounded by broken glass and a strange black substance. He was mumbling something about a dark force that was coming to get him. I quickly called an ambulance, and my roommate was taken to the hospital. The doctors found that he had been using a dangerous mixture of drugs and that the black liquid he was using was a powerful hallucinogenic. My roommate was eventually released from the hospital, but he was never the same. He started to claim that he could see things that weren't there and that dark forces were following him. Eventually, he disappeared without a trace. To this day, I still don't know what happened to my old roommate. I often wonder if he is still out there somewhere, living in the dark shadows of his own mind.